What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Curly K Glam, and I'm here today to bring you your Grownish Season 5, Episode 11 talk about on an episode called Money Trees, okay? So, we off to a slow start with this episode, okay? I know what I said in my video last week about Grownish looking more exciting, but I guess they're going to build it up. That's what's going to happen. I was glad to see Jack. Always glad to see Jack. Wish Diane could have made an appearance, but that's neither here nor there, because I definitely think, like, Jack and Diane should have slid right over to Grownish as well, because they transitioning, into young adulthood as well. But anyway, so this episode is primarily about Junior not having any money, and it's primarily an episode about what to do with yourself in college. Like, because I'm not even gonna lie, me myself, when I was in school, I played sports my whole life before I got to college. And so by the time I got to college, I wasn't really interested in anything. So I was like, might as well just, do athletic training, because I was an athlete. It just, exercise science. It just, it seemed like the path, right? So I went to my first school. I did 5 years of college in total. I did 2 in my first school and ended up having to do a third year in my second school because I transferred. So after my sophomore year, I transferred to another school. And so at the first school, I did exercise science. And so by the grace of God, almost all of my classes transferred to my second school, and I was able to go there and major in kinesiology with a concentration in sports medicine, okay? So, all in all, I graduated and I ain't doing nothing in athletic training. That's the moral of the story. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. But that episode reminded me of that, because I was having a conversation with Mama the other day about kids wanting to go to school to pursue their dreams, and parents, the dream that a kid has not being good enough for the parents, and how parents, I believe that parents can't make their children go to school for something that they don't want to do, because that would be a total waste of money. And for Junior's friend, I still don't know that girl name, and I was waiting on them to say that girl name whole episode, and I didn't think about it till right now when I'm filming it. I could have just went and Googled her name. So I'm going to quickly Google her name. Grownish cast. She ain't even up here on a Grownish cast at that. Dang, she ain't main cast? That still don't help. Well, so much for that. Anyway, so she wants to go to school for music. She was an artist at that. And I thought that's what she was doing on the side. But she was willing to give up her artist dream, or I ain't gonna say willing. She still wanted to do music, but she didn't know how to pursue music and still go to school full time and pursue an actual music career. Now, Cal U is a liberal arts school. So I feel like she could have studied music, learned the ins and outs of producing and all that stuff, and that could have helped her toward her dream. But she was talking about being a certified accountant. She was talking about being an occupational therapist. And I think she talked about something about mechanics or something like that. Because she's still a freshman, so she ain't got to the point where she got to pick a major yet as well. So in the end, Doug suggests open mic night, and she don't end up doing it because somebody else was there that could sing. And I guess she felt a little embarrassed. Maybe next time, girl. Junior, on the other hand, Junior's whole storyline was very much giving me Zoe all over again. Like, I was having deja vu, especially when he was on that computer trying to write that paper. And he was on that computer trying to write that paper, and then he kept going back and forth between stocks. That was definitely giving me the episode when Zoe was trying to write her paper on Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and she kept going back and forth between trying to shop because she was under the influence, and she ended up buying $3,000 worth of stuff. But instead of him spending money, he was on stocks. And the crazy thing about that was, like, Junior, like, all of them did live off their parents' money, especially Zoe. Zoe went and got a job for like half a semester when she worked at the store. And that's when her father was not giving her any more money. And so that's how she ended up, chasing that job after Joey, because her father was no longer giving her money because she ended up flunking out of school. And then she ended up quitting school. But Junior, on the other hand, I guess that whole little spiel about being on your parents and having your parents supply your needs or whatever like that got to Junior, and so he got into trading. Now, this is the only thing that this generation have that my generation or my age group didn't necessarily have when we was in school. And I sound old when I say that, but it really wasn't that long ago. It was literally like 2010 to 2015. The stocks was a thing, and trading always was a thing, but it ain't a thing. It wasn't a thing then like it is now. Like, it's so many ways now to make passive income, but just 5 years ago, 7 years ago, at most 10 years ago, it wasn't like that. Like, people was making money off social media, but they weren't making money off social media like people are now. Like, people is whole becoming millionaires off social media, like just skipping college, a trade, anything, and it's going straight to influencing and trading stocks because they don't feel the need to get an education no more because they said money is the motive. But that's exactly what it was given with Junior, mind you. Now, had I had like some money back then and I knew what I knew now, I definitely would have been trading while I was in school. That way you can have some passive income, and that way you can go to school, still get a formative education, but you don't have to be at college not having no money, because that's craziness. Like, for real, like, we was legit at school trying to figure out how we was gonna get $20. Like, and whether or not I was scared enough to call my parents and ask them for $20, because they're gonna be like, what you doing it with? Like, crazy. College, what a time. It's literally survival of the fittest when you in school. Like, legit. But it took Junior's professor having a talk with him for him to realize, like, yeah, I know you might be having money issues and everything like that, but you could still do your work. And we kind of see the same thing happening with Doug, because Doug had to get a job doing something he didn't want to do. Just because he lost his job and he didn't want to tell his parents that he ain't had no job and he ain't had no place to stay and all this and that. So it's literally like the same thing. Sorry, I'm trying to keep my monitors on so I can look over there and see. But yeah, I'm just like, really? And then now all of a sudden, Aaron gets this good side hustle where he's going around the world touring, making speeches about blackness, the African diaspora and all stuff, making good money. And now his students tell him that, oh, well, there's all kind of allegations going on about how fraudulent that company been acting. So now, of course, Aaron being woke Aaron, he is all up in arms about, looking like a sellout. It's the fact for me that he got that money and instead of being responsible, he went to the school store at that. Absolutely not. Now, when I saw that buggy, I was like, why would people the first thing they do when they get money, they go to the grocery store? I'm thinking he was going to the grocery store and getting stuff that they actually like to eat or stuff that they couldn't afford because they was on a budget. But he went to the school store. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I ain't never got my refund check and was like, we going to the school store. No. I got my refund check and I went right to Walmart and got me some groceries and got me maybe a little sweatpant and some socks. You know what I'm saying? Because it might have got cold on that long, and a coat, that long walk across campus. And I made sure I had food in my freezer. I didn't go to no school store. Gross. But yeah, y'all. I think that's all I have for Grownish. This episode was like a cool 6.5. I need something else Grownish because that wasn't it. And but maybe it's building. Maybe we're building. So I'm not gonna just let's throw it to the side like that. But I'm just saying. And Justine's character is disliking Junior because he politely was like, we should rather stay friends at the point because he didn't want to, explore his options. Even though he really likes her, he didn't want to, buck her down and get in a serious relationship when he's getting all this newfound attention because it's literally like that for some people. Some people can be a dweeb their whole childhood and go to college and blossom and turn into somebody you ain't never met before. Ah! That's funny. Anyway, that's Junior, okay? But yeah, y'all, I'll be back next week with another recap. Deuces.